Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of the government shutdown. This is Zane's of the View, and I'm making this video to explain what's going on as best to my understanding and knowledge, what this is mean for us, and what are you seeing on the news and from our politicians. Because let's be honest here. I'm going to be as honest as I can for both sides, Democratic and Republican, and particularly for a person like myself who's an independent. I am not for either party. I'm not. But seeing the true aspect of this situation, Democrats are not going to like what I'm going to say, and to a point, neither are Republicans. But if you're going to see the real truth of what's going on, you might as well take your lumps. With no disrespect. I said after the election was done that Republicans, you are blameless in this. Independents, you are blameless in this. The way that the Democratic Party has functioned since around 2008 to 2009 has been very erratic. And as much as I'm sure Democrats are going to say, dude, you don't know shit. Who the hell you think you are? I know there are going to be some people who are going to say this, and they're going to have a lot of disrespect towards me. For the simple fact that when it comes down to it, for a Democrat, when you ask them for a clear-cut explanation of what's going on, they can't give you one. Usually they get very insulted, and they pretty much try to disrespect you. This is what's going on with the Democratic Party at this moment. It's kind of like having a really bad winner compared to a sore loser, which is going on in the Republican Party. I'll explain that in a moment. But let's put it like this for the Democratic Party. Over the years, we all know that the Democratic Party has a lot of corruption. I'm sorry, it does. Not much different than the Republican Party when it comes to what they call rhinos compared to conservatives. If you're going to be as honest as possible, the older style Republicans are way more corrupt than the Tea Party or the conservatives. Do I believe the Tea Party and conservatives are better than the older type of Republicans? No, because each section of a party has their own quirks, as well as has this certain amount of corruption in it. The same thing with the Democratic Party. But here's the thing with the Democrats. They have been in leadership for quite a long time. They managed to get a man into office where generally the reasons for him being there was because a country was very tired of war and a country truly wanted a black president. They didn't get it with Jesse Jackson back in the 80s into the 90s. They didn't. Jesse Jackson tried to run. He didn't win. Al Sharpton tried to run. He didn't win. The closest they've ever had is Bill Clinton. So by the time Barack Hussein Obama came into office, the majority of people, which were mainly black, saw this. I am a mixed American with black heritage in him. In other words, I am African American. I got it. No matter if people want to hear, oh man, you ain't nothing. I am. When it comes down to it, when you see this, the majority of black people voted not because of the politics or policies that Barack Hussein Obama was going to introduce. It was because he was black. And I'm sure I'm going to get comments below and they're going to say, you damn right we did. We wanted our man in there. But this is where the thing goes wrong. For black people particularly, you're supposed to be people. The one thing that black people never seem to ever understand. And I understand the reason why they're doing it. They feel like they're always going to be a minority. They're never going to be treated right. But you know what? There's a point when you got to go beyond that. And say, you know what? I'm way more than what people say I am. And I know some people are going to say that. I did say that. I am that. But when you think the only reason that a man should be put in office is because of his skin color, because he's from your race, not because the man has some ability or has the moral fiber to actually do the job and also represent the place you live in more better than anyone else, there's your problem. Black people don't see that yet. And I'm taking a guess it'll take a couple of more generations before they finally get it through their heads that what Dr. Martin Luther King said was true. Why are you looking at your skin? It's dumb. See yourself as a person. Because when it comes down to it, that's all you are. But black people don't see that. And since the Democratic Party has the majority of the African American vote, they're not going to for quite a while. Now, when it comes to the Republicans, counting on which side you care about, do you care about the conservative side? Do you care about the Tea Party, which people would say they are conservative, but there are some stark differences? And then when you come to the older style Republicans, which they call rhinos, the problem here is this. No matter, even if the Republican Party is right about everything that's been going on for the last 30 to 40 years, the problem has always been this. Because of how the minority of the country has been taught to believe, and this is more than one, have been taught to believe that the Democratic Party is much better than Republicans because of how this country is structured. Look, if this country was no different from Spain, Germany, England, and currently Brazil, who are having riots, there wouldn't be a Republican Party. The people who created this country believed that there was no need to have a king. They believed that the people should be able to govern themselves by electing people. But they also pretty much said in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence in certain parts, you have the ability to go off and do whatever you want within the law, but then to pursue whatever you believe you can be and whatever you can get. It's not written directly in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, or the Declaration of Independence. But still, that's what this country is based on. You can be born here, and you could be born with not even $1 in your pocket, and you could still become a millionaire. Or you could be born a millionaire and end up broke. This country is designed specifically to give you the opportunity to figure out what you want. But many people believe we should be like all the other countries, where everyone should be treated equally. And the problem here is this, and this is what's coming down to the government shutdown. For the last 8 years, the last 10 years, the country has been orientated towards being more European. And if you don't remember how bad this country's been in the last 8 years, it has not been very stable. If you look abroad in the last 8 years, you've had Spain shut down their government in many cases and have nearly had some bad riots. England, 2.5 years ago, had terrible riots for at least a week. 8 years ago, maybe nearing 9 now, say about 8. France, 10 days of rioting due to government problems because they couldn't afford to cover everyone. The majority of the countries that I've just talked about and more have had financial problems. And I know many people are going to say because of what happened with the financial crisis. Well, I'm sorry. You see, this happened before the financial crisis. Many countries started going under. The European euro has not done very well. And as much as I'm sure other people who are from different countries see this video, you know it better than I do, that before 2007, around 2004 or 5, you had some severe problems. By 2008 to 2009, that's when it really came to a head because of all the loaning that was being done, not just in this country, but in your own. So what does this mean going to the second day of the shutdown? And I know I just gave some decent information on both Democrat and Republican and going off internationally. This is what it's going down to. The problem here is this. Both sides have done some wrong situations here. They have. The first problem was that in August, they all went to vacation. It doesn't matter if some Republicans stayed behind in Washington, D.C. to try and do something, or it was Democrats. The majority of the people who could have stayed did not stay. They decided no matter if they're trying to drag this into a shutdown or not, which has happened, the majority of both parties left. and left everything to a big mess. That's number one. Number two, and this is something Democrats won't admit, but it is true. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Channel 2, Channel 4, and Channel 5, in New York particularly, and Channel 11 have in some cases covered it. When you look at PBS Channel 13, they also covered this to a point. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party has not passed a budget since 2013. They just voted on continuing the one that was in 2009. Do you want to blame the Democrats or do you want to blame the Republicans? You blame them both because neither one could come up to a solution. Rushing it now to the second day of this shutdown. This is the thing. With the Democrats literally stating on CNN, MSNBC, saying on the channel for C-SPAN when they had to go into to try and negotiate between one another, and they get in front of the podium, there is no negotiation. Who do you blame in that case for the negotiation? Who is not negotiating? If you look at CNN, you look at MSNBC and Fox, you can hear the Republicans clearly stating, no matter how much Democrats want to say this, we're giving you offers. Tell us what you like about it. Tell us what you don't like about it. Then let's talk. Whatever the Democrats done. None. They have refused to budge, period. On anything. So who do you truly blame? It is the Democrats. As much as people are going to say I sound like a Republican, I'm not. I'm an independent. I have no care about either side. I knew when the election came up that the guy I voted for, Johnson, he was not going to win. But I voted for him because he was an alternative that either side I didn't like. I wasn't totally for Romney, and I wasn't totally for Barack Obama. I believe both of them were too much into their own parties and too much in not telling the entire truth of the situations. If you look at the reviews of the debates that were done, it is clearly shown Barack Obama lied his ass off when it came to Benghazi. Because right now with basically the hearings on it, no one is being brought in to announce anything. They're refusing to bring them in. And that's the United States government towards itself, saying we're not bringing anyone into that. 4 people died because of it. And an entire embassy was destroyed, and nobody wants to take any accountability of it. So it's obvious Barack Obama lied. When it came to Romney, when it came to his own health care bill he helped draft in basically Massachusetts, it wasn't good either. He really highlighted a lot of stuff that wasn't that great. So both sides are here corrupt. But the problem here is this. Who is the one to blame right now? It is the Democrats to blame for this. Because under ordinary law, they are supposed to negotiate. By refusing to negotiate, this is the problem. It's not the point if the Democrats still get everything they want. By stating to this country, I'm not negotiating over shit, shows them that it's not the point that they're right about everything. They are bad winners. They won everything they wanted. They got themselves the health care bill. And I'm not calling it the Obamacare. I'm not doing that. I may have said it, but I'm not doing it because the rhetoric is stupid. Particularly that it's the Democrats who are doing it way more than Republicans. I'm sorry, you are. And I'm sure when I get the comments down there, they're going to start saying, you're a stupid fucking motherfucker. But if you actually think you're a very intelligent person, you shouldn't try to insult me or curse at me. Tell me what I'm wrong about. Show me as an independent what's right. But when you see it like this, the negotiations are not going on because of the Democratic Party. No matter even if they are right and will still keep 100% of everything they get and have gotten from the health care bill, from the stimulus package, from when it came to doing an extra second stimulus package, because they did 2. And I'm sure they're going to get the debt ceiling. In the end, You are supposed to work for the people and look good while doing it. You're not supposed to do this. And the Democratic Party has. And in the end, even though everyone is going to say Republicans are stupid, they've caused this mess, the winners of this entire situation have people to watch them. In other words, we're looking at them. They have to show that they're doing something for us. It's not the point to say we're not changing anything. It's the point to say we're going to look good in front of you with the people that lost and is being very bitter about it. Because we're trying to make you feel comfortable. We're trying to show you that we care for you. We're trying to show you that when it comes down to it, that you are our main focus, not us. But by refusing to do this, they make themselves look more important than us. I am an American citizen living in New York City. I want to know that my politicians, no matter even if they are bullshitters and con artists and are trying to rob me blind, at least generally keep me comfortable and in the mindset that, you know what, I know this is going on in the back, but at least make it look clear so the guy that lives next to me will not get freaked out and give me flack or give me problems, because I want to try and live a normal life. I want to at least know that even in my injured condition, that I know I'm not going to be worried that some guy's going to break into my apartment or try to light up this building because of frustration or fear. I want to make sure that I know that my son, who's not living with me, is going to be safe in his school. And not like what's going on in Brazil, where the teachers basically right now are fighting with the military or the police because of a budget change in their pensions and their salary. I want to know that this government is going to do that for me, because I want to make sure the people who live next to me will not freak out. But I'm not getting that. I'm worried that someone sooner or later is going to lose their mind and hurt someone because of this. So that's what is really going on. This government is dysfunctional because one side is being a really sore winner and wants to really rub it in the other side's face, no matter if the other side is right or wrong. It's the point that that side that won is representing us and is supposed to make us feel better, not to the point that we as Americans are thrown aside and they say, we don't really give a fuck about what you're thinking. We may have gotten something for you, but we're going to make sure these people cave because we want to feel good about it. So I hope you enjoy this Zane's Other View, and subscribe and comment to my channel. Give me a thumbs up and understand this is a wrestling show. It is very rare I do these, but I had a feeling that this was necessary to be done, because I know that there are Democrats that are acting really out of order. Not because they're being screwed by the Republican Party, it's because they're being very sore winners. As an independent, I lose more than anybody. I'm sorry, I do. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm considered a total moron for not choosing the Democratic Party. And I'm considered someone that is foolish because independents are more like Republicans, because they don't want Democratic control, one, and they want more things out of life than living on government finances. They want to work. They want things. Essentially, that's how it goes. Have a good day.